Hi, I'm Jenny from Refresh Living, and today I'm going to show you how to repair and paint over a rusty refrigerator. So you can see here the doors and sides of our fridge are rusting away. About a year ago we noticed that the finish kind of was like it was like a little rougher than normal, and then it really quickly started rusting. It would just take the moisture from the air and create all these rust spots. So you can see it got worse and worse, and there was no repairing it, no turning back. So it's on the side too here. So I'm gonna be taking off the doors and painting it to hopefully make it look like new. Before you start painting, you want to make sure that everything is prepped well. So you'll want to clean it with a degreaser. I just used dish soap and that worked well, but any cleaner should work. Just make sure all that cleaner is rinsed off well. I like to sand with anywhere from like 220 to 150 grit sandpaper, just to kind of scuff up the surface a little bit. And then I wipe off the sanding dust with a tack cloth and then just wipe it down with rubbing alcohol. That just gets off any extra grease or even fingerprint oils that could be left on the surface to make sure the paint adheres really well. First, I taped off all the gaskets. I'm going to put some newspaper here to just block it from hitting the inside of the refrigerator. And then I'm going to hit it with a coat of this rust reformer first. And then I'll use the paint over that. Here's with a coat of the rust reformer on it. You can see I ended up taping paper all the way around because holding up the cardboard let a little bit of the spray underneath, which I should have known, but so it's taped all the way around with paper. This one has been sprayed with 2 coats of the appliance spray paint. So this is going to be done. It says on the can to do the second coat within a half hour. So I did mine maybe like 5 minutes after the first coat, and it has worked well. So here's the door drying after about maybe 10 minutes after the first coat. I'm going to put on the second coat now. You can see that I put the first coat on pretty lightly. That just helps there not to be extra drips and paint. And then the second coat's going to cover it just fine. A couple of tricks with this spray of the appliance epoxy is it tends to drip a lot as you spray it. I found that the better you shake it, less of that happens. But even after shaking for a while, it still does happen a little bit. Most of the little drips will actually blend right in just fine. So try not to worry about it when you're painting and try not to freak out too much about it. I know it makes me nervous, but I found that they all actually blend in really well. So just a little note on that. Here's how the frame turned out. I obviously taped off the inside. All right, so let me show you how it turned out. Here's what it ended up looking like. It dries to touch pretty quickly. It was actually pretty warm today though, and not very humid, so I think our dry time was pretty quick, but I think it takes a while to cure. I think the can said up to a week. So I'm just leaving the doors open for a little bit because I don't want the gaskets to stick to this part, but you can see it's really kind of hard with the glare, but you can see it gives a really nice finish. It's pretty shiny. It looks a lot like a finish on a refrigerator would look. So I think it should be easy to wipe down. Obviously there's no more rust, which is exactly what we were going for. And the hope is that it will stay that way. I think I ended up using 1 can of the rust reformer and then 3 cans of the appliance epoxy. So it ended up costing less than $20 for all the supplies, and it looks like I have a brand new fridge. You can see that I also painted the handles in the same appliance epoxy spray paint, and that worked well. And it's super easy to clean just by wiping it off with a sponge and some mild cleaner. We've been able to keep it in good shape. I have a ton of other DIY projects on my blog, refreshliving.net. I'd love for you to come check them out, or check out my YouTube channel and subscribe.